What's up, y'all? Welcome to Dr. Divine Roots Tarot. I am the Queen of Tarot, back with another message from the other side. I am the High Priestess, the Supreme Witch, the Divine Feminine, God's only chosen reader. Don't you forget that. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share this video, and turn on all notifications, okay? So let's jump in. If you are ready to heal your inner child, the links to my products are in the description below. Okay? So heavy on endorsement, persuasion, bribe, temptation has created loss. Okay, bereavement, sorrow, and damage. They've done a lot of damage because they were persuading, bribing, and tempting people with money. So now there is a lot of attention and on them, and they are being sued. All right, they're experiencing a great deal of loss. They're very upset and sad about this loss. They're very upset and sad about all the attention on everything that they're losing. Okay, they're sad about the attention that is being brought on them bribing, persuading, and tempting people with money. Heavy on this was their strategy. Okay, mind reading, prediction, planning. Okay, they were planning, they were predicting what moves they were going to make in this situation. All right, they created this strategy so that they could rob someone. Okay, exploit, be unfair, and they did not take caution with this strategy here. Okay, and they were heavy on daydreaming about this robbery, about this strategy. All right, they were optimistic about creating these illusions, about taking this money, creating a strategy to take this money, okay, from this person in this situation. All right, so now there's lots of attention on the strategy that they created to rob the Divine Feminine. All right, they are heavy on upset about it now, and everyone that they bribed is upset about accepting the bribe, about accepting to do the devil's work. Okay, so what else is here about this situation? These people are very sad. That's what they like. They're very sad. All right, heavy on their pride is the reason why they are in this situation. All right, self-esteem, self-worth. They were in their ego, heavy on that. So their ego had them daydreaming about this robbery. Okay, this is the origin, all right, of them losing. Okay, their pride is the origin of them losing. All right, creativity, initiation, vitality. All right, them having all this energy in the beginning. All right, because they allowed their pride to get the best of them. All right, so now they are experiencing lack. All right, the secrets about the friendships that they created in this situation. All right, team, connection, network. The secrets about this network of people who collaborated together to go against the Divine Feminine. All right, are coming out. It's no longer a secret. Marriage, sweet love, couple, dependency. Okay, their dependency on their friendships. Okay, marriage, their dependency on their friendships. Okay, the origin is their dependency on their friendships and their pride. Okay, them taking this bribe. Okay, now this strategy to rob from someone has now left them very introverted. Okay, they do not want to indulge privacy. They want privacy, separate. They want to separate online community. They want to separate from this online community. This online community wants to separate from the people involved in this situation. Okay, they want privacy. They no longer want to be dependent. They are no longer dependent on these friendships. Okay, but this is the origin. Their pride is the origin of their dependency on these friendships. They felt like it was okay to strategize to rob the divine feminine, to bribe people, to come together, so now they have met their fate. Okay, coincidence, fate, fatalism, fortune telling. All right, so now they have met their fate. All right, because they made a promise. All right, responsible confirmation assurance. They gave this person confirmation and reassured someone. They made a promise. When they made this promise, they were sealing their fate in the situation. Now things are very unpleasant in this alliance. Okay, things are very unpleasant in this alliance now. Okay, they're very offensive. They're very mad. They're very angry about this promise that they made that has sealed their fate in this situation. Okay, they're very angry about promising to form this alliance. All right, trust. They're angry that they trusted these people. Honest compatibility, that they heavy on were compatible with these people. Okay, compromise, agreement, reconciliation, consideration. Okay, so they're angry that they considered compromising and reconciling with these friends, with these people. Okay, compromising to make this alliance. Okay, and they're very angry. They're very angry in the situation. Okay, what else is here? Very angry about their fate because they made a promise. They're angry about making this promise to these friends. Okay, stop, evidence, libation, mask, perseverance, challenge, endurement, resolution, collaboration. Okay, so stop, break, pause, stagnation, stop, stagnation, pause, break. So stop, stagnate. All right. They wanted to stop the evidence in this situation. Evidence, proof, investigation, detection. All right, so they wanted to stop the investigation. They wanted to stop an investigation into this situation. All right, they wanted to stop anyone from getting proof of them creating this strategy to rob someone. All right, they wanted to stagnate this person. They wanted to stop this person by robbing them. This is what they were doing, and they took donations. Okay, there's evidence of them taking donations. There's evidence that they wanted to stop and stagnate this person by robbing them. There's evidence that they created this strategy to rob the divine feminine. All right, they were doing this like it was a religion. So on repeat. Okay, they were worshiping this robbery. Okay, praying to the dark lords about robbing this person. Okay, their masks have been completely ripped off. Okay, deception, pretending. All right, no more deception, no more pretending in this situation, no more willingness to commit. Okay, no more agreements. All right, no more collaborating. All right, their masks have been ripped off in regards to this collaboration. Okay, challenge and dormant. All right, resolution. They refuse to stop. They refuse to stop. Okay, self-love overload. Okay, there was a overload. They had a blockage in they had an overload of pride. Okay, they were overloaded with pride. They were overwhelmed with pride. Okay, with their obligations. The secrets about that are coming out. Okay, their pride was blocking their self-love in this situation. Their pride was blocking their self-healing in this situation. Okay, what else is here? Okay, and because their pride again was blocking their self-love, and they had an overload of pride, an overwhelming amount of pride, they invested into this mega project, and this is why they are fucked up. Okay, so in their imagination they felt as though this friendship, they created these friendships so that they could persevere. All right, they collaborated so that they could persevere and continue going on with this mega project to stop the detection of them strategizing to steal this money from Divine Feminine. All right, they wanted to stagnate the investigation. They wanted to stagnate anyone from finding any evidence, anyone from getting any proof. All right, they wanted to stagnate the investigation, so they invested their time and attempted to persevere. All right, they were trying to jump over the hurdles that this investigation was creating. Okay, and so they got an idea to create these friendships. All right, to create this marriage. Okay, inspiration, suggestion, vision. So they visualize, what they wanted to do. They imagined how they were going to persevere over anyone finding out about this mega project. All right, because they had an overload of pride because there's a blockage in their self-love. And so now their imagination was the origin of all this shit that they're going through now, or the origin of all these problems. Okay, their pride, the dumbass ideas that they had to indulge in this marriage, in these friendships, in these collaborations. Now their masks have been ripped off, and they don't know what the fuck to do. Now, they are having a hard time. All right, this family here, now they're having a hard time, stagnating this investigation. All right, now they can't stop the evidence. All right, now the family wants privacy. Now the family is separating from each other. Okay, they wanted this family, this divine feminine and this divine masculine. All right, there's a blockage in them being calm. All right, there's not no calm for this family. There's not no calm for them. All right, there's not no simplicity, no meditation, no inner peace for this family. Okay, because they, in their imaginations, they came up with this dumbass idea, with this false ass marriage right here. All right, this mega fucking project right here. All right, to stop anyone from getting evidence about this robbery. Okay, this robbery and their strategy, the strategy that they created. They wanted to stop it. They wanted to stagnate it. They wanted to stop it. So now they have been stagnated. Now they have been stopped. Now their strategy has been exposed. There's a great deal of attention on it because they took donations. They brought a lot of attention to it. Their masks have been fucking ripped off in all these collaborations, all right? In this marriage, all right? Everything that they've been thinking about, these ideas that they had, this family, is now being isolated. Now they want privacy. Now they want to be separate from the things that they were doing. Okay? Now everything is awkward. Okay? Vision problems, unknown. Okay? They were blind in this situation. All right? And that is why it was the blind leading the blind. And this is exactly why they are getting caught the fuck up. This is exactly why the whole world is finding out about this shit, because they thought, okay? Heavy on blind. They were blind. It was the blind leading the fucking blind, thinking that they could persevere by collaborating, all right? Because they had an overload of motherfucking pride. Okay, because they thought that they were bigger than God, because they thought that they had the power to stop anyone from finding out about this mega project, anyone from finding evidence about the strategy that they created to rob this person, okay, of what is rightfully theirs. So now they're going to sit down for the rest of their lives in prison, all right? Them and all the flying monkeys, all the minions, all the dummies, they all going to prison together looking dumb because they was trying to stop some shit. All right? And we're going to wrap it up right there. I appreciate you stopping by. Let me know what you think about this situation. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and turn on them notifications, okay? We out.